Afternoon, YouTube. This is Fred Strength here, and today I'm talking about deciding to do better and creating a stronger version of yourself. And this is the most fundamental baseline principle that you need to start implementing in your daily routine every day in order in order to achieve the new, stronger, more resilient version of yourself. All right. So what is this? This is a life oath or a life declaration that we're going to be setting up. Okay. And this is kind of, like I said earlier, this is going to be a blueprint that you're going to integrate with the dreams and the goals and the vision that you have for yourself. And you're going to write it down and you're going to repeat this to yourself almost as if it's a sort of a positive affirmation. And you're going to remind yourself every morning and every evening about this declaration and how you're on a journey to creating a stronger version of yourself. Okay, so now let's get right into the nitty-gritty details of this life declaration. Okay, so I'm going to list out some pointers. You're going to see me glance off to my side. I'm just checking my notes, making sure that I have everything said and talked about that I feel is very important for creating these life declarations. So I feel the most important one is, how do you want to think? From where you are now to where you want to take your life, how do you want to think? It could be terms of financially, and you could start thinking, hey, I'm not saving a lot of money. The new version of myself is going to be very financially conscious, and I'm going to start tracking what I'm spending. I'm going to start saving receipts. It could be something like that. Me personally, mine was becoming more positive. So one thing that I started doing every day was starting to be thankful for the small things, be grateful for everything, being grateful for my family, my friends, my support systems, everything at all. So it really is. It starts mentally with a mental picture. And how do you want to think? And how do you want to create a stronger version of yourself? The second thing, and almost as important as the first, is what brings joy to your life. Okay? And you want to find these things that bring joy to your life, and you want to hold them close to your heart. Because we have joy and we have positive energy and we have happiness flowing into our lives, we're going to manifest that energy outward, and we're going to act as if we're a mirror in a sense, and we're going to push the energy that we have been receiving and the energy that we have been feeling outward into the world, showing off a new, stronger, resilient version of ourselves. So it's very important to know what you want to think and how you want to think this new, stronger version of yourself is going to act, behave, and just live in life. And then also, what is going to bring you joy? And then how are you going to intertwine those two things to bring joyful thinking and positive energy throughout your day-to-day life? And then another great thing is, how do you want to feel? Okay. Now this could be as simple as a very physical definition of, oh, I want to feel 15, 20 pounds lighter. I want to feel like I have more energy when I wake up. You know, I want to feel less sad, or I want to feel like I'm not as lonely. So how do you want to feel? These are the three biggest things: the mind, the body, and the spirit. That's why I'm addressing them in the top three. When your mind, your body, and your spirit are all aligned with joyful, positive thinking, you can really manifest anything you want in the world. All it takes is the willpower and the determination to manifest anything. So that's why mind, body, spirit, how you want to think, what brings you joy, how do you want to feel, and what things do you want to do in life. Okay? And then another very important thing is, how and what do you want to believe? And this could be anything. See, I'll talk about me personally. One thing that I do not believe in is animal agriculture. I feel that humans in the 21st century, we have very inhumane slaughterhouse tactics, and to me personally, in my worldview and where I am sitting currently, I feel that there is absolutely no rhyme or reason that we need to be having it, and no rhyme or reason why we need to be eating the amount and the quantity of processed animal foods that we are eating today. So how and what you want to believe is something that you're going to have to hold very true to yourself as well. And one thing that you're going to have to sit and process and really think about it. And there could be many things that come in, and many things that can come about from this how and what you want to believe. And there can be very challenging things. You can experience some cognitive dissonance and say, oh, I don't know if I should be believing this or that, because, you know, I've been doing this and I've been living life this way for however many years. And then these new thoughts about how you want to live life and taking control of your life and formatting a new, stronger version of yourself, there's definitely going to be some mental stalemates that go on. And part of adopting this new life declaration and part of becoming a new, stronger version of yourself is just that, sifting through the way that you're living now and trying to figure out how you want to become and living this life of who you want to become. All right? And so going off of thoughts, segueing into that, how do we want to conduct ourselves? You know, are we going to be someone who is going to forward rounded shoulders, head down, slumped, and, you know, not look like they're paying attention? Sort of like, oh, I don't care. You know, I haven't shaved for 4 weeks. It's fine. I don't care that much. I'm going to just let my hair grow as long as possible. Or are we going to be sitting up, shoulders retracted, chest proud, neck straight, head up, chin up? And how are we going to conduct ourselves? Are we going to walk around the street with our head down, or are we going to hold ourselves high, put up a nice smile, and be friendly and be approachable? How are you going to live your life? Think about it very hard. And so the next thing, what foods and substances do you want in your body? Going back to how and what you want to believe, talking about animal agriculture, what foods do I want in my body? I want whole foods. I want plants. I want unprocessed foods. I want stuff that doesn't come out of packages. I want things that have less than 7 ingredients in them. I don't want to be sitting here looking at a fucking chemistry kit that's food. I don't want food-like products substituting my food. And this is another thing that I invite you guys to think about yourselves. What are you putting in your body? What fuel are you going to supply your body with to create a stronger version of yourself? Are you going to supply it with cookies, candy, processed junk food? Or are you going to throw in low-calorie, calorically dense foods like vegetables? Are you going to have a lot of fruit? Are you going to eat natural meat that you know has come from animals that have been antibiotic-free and have been able to live on a pasture their whole life? Or are you going to get the factory farmed animal that has been in a cage its entire life and has been suffering? The food and the fuel that we put into our body is probably the most important thing. How we eat directly influences how we feel, and on top of that, how we're going to perform. So if we're eating low caliber, you know, calorically dense, packaged foods that have 30 to 50 ingredients in them and just boatloads of sugar and refined carbohydrates, expect to perform poorly and expect to have a lower quality of life. However, if we're fueling ourselves with not calorically dense, nutrient dense foods, and if we're filling ourselves with the whole rainbow of food colors, right? If we're eating a giant variety and eating in adequate amounts, our bodies are going to transform just like that. And you're going to find it so much easier to either start creating a stronger version of yourself mentally, or the actual physical version of yourself is going to start transpiring very quickly too once you switch over to these whole foods and this natural diet. So this is one of the most important physical things that we can do to forming a life declaration and transforming ourselves into a stronger version of ourselves, is to directly change and directly influence the foods that we're putting into our body for the better. And that is going to be a big switch, all right? So what do you want your life's purpose to be? And this is something that requires a lot of thought, and this is something that you can't just think about in a day. And this is something that you're going to just come up with and then just ride with it. This is something that comes from the heart. This is something that requires a lot of time. This is something that requires meditation. This is something that you need to understand your body, your spirit, and your mind, and you need to harvest all of those together and create what your life what your life purpose is. The life purpose isn't something that's just found in a day and something that you're just gonna like, oh, like this looks interesting, I'm gonna just do this. It's not an occupation. It's not like a desk job where you go sit 9 to 5 and then, oh, like that's my life purpose. This life purpose has such a higher divine meaning and requires a lot of time to find out and piece together from yourself. I recommend using meditation to getting to know yourself and getting to calm down the talkative side of your brain and develop that quiet sense to understanding your natural body. So along the lines of what you want your life purpose to be is what inspires you. One quote that my high school, one quote that my high school football coach always said. He said that we can't win Friday's battle with Monday's energy. So what inspires you? You have to be renewing this source of inspiration daily. Like I said, you can't win Friday's battle on Monday's energy. Sources of inspiration need to be coming into your life and fueling your life every day. And this is why I recommend journaling as a great source of continuing inspiration and finding inspiration. At the end of every day, if you're writing for 10 to 15 minutes about stuff that you've thought about throughout the day that inspires you, you do that consistently for 6 months to a year, and then you'll have found this whole new wealth and this whole new plethora of inspiration that has been untapped and honestly has come from other areas of life than where you're directly focusing your attention on right now. You'll find that inspiration is like electricity. You know, it flows and we all use it, but we just don't really know how it works. However, if we have access to it and if we switch that, if we flip that switch to turn on our inspiration, 3 to 5 times a day, do that consistently, inspiration is just going to fly into our lives and we're going to be so motivated that we're not even going to be able to go to sleep. Inspiration, a very big part to creating a stronger version of ourselves. And then going off of inspiration, what people do you want to be around? There are two types of people, all right? There are those that are going to fuel your inspiration, and there are those that are going to help you reach to new heights, and then there are the energy wasters and the fair weather friends that only want you for who you are right now and for what you have in your life right now. They aren't going to help you. They're not going to be the ones that are going to push you to become a stronger version of yourself. They're perfectly content with themselves, and they're perfectly content with the way that you're acting right now. Pick your friends very carefully. Like I said, or I haven't said this, but you can never take away the time that you have spent with someone. It's the idea of association. When you associate your name with a certain group of people, that's going to stick, and people are going to remember you for sticking with those groups of people. As you're becoming a stronger version of yourself, you realize that these fair weather friends and that these low tier versions of friends only want the physical, they only want just a physical relationship with you and them. They don't want you to prod them mentally. They don't want you to inspire them. They don't want you to focus on their spirituality, and they don't want you to help them flourish. So as you're striving to create a new, stronger version of yourself, it is imperative that you break out of the old shackles of who you associate yourself with and associate yourself with people that are living their best lives, are people that are striving to create something better and bigger than themselves. And then finally, going along with people you want to associate yourself, how do you as a person want to be? What kind of person do you want to be? Do you want to be a, like I said, sad person, head pointed down, shoulders rounded forward, looks disinterested, probably is, doesn't really have much going on? Or are we going to retract our shoulders, keep our chest proud, put on a nice smile, and be approachable, be talkative? Are we going to share our experiences to help grow others? All right, guys. So those were some just basic things to start prodding your mind to forming a life declaration. Now, say you just write an answer to all of those questions that I've just stated. There's your life declaration. As soon as you have something that's written down, just start repeating it to yourself every day, right as you wake up and before you go to bed, and instill this newfound image, this newfound life declaration of your new, stronger version of yourself, and use it as a source of inspiration to help you believe in achieving this stronger version of yourself. And one great thing about a life declaration is that it's constantly in flux and it is constantly changing. So don't feel like once you've created a life declaration, this is it, this is how I'm going to have to stick to my life. No, but it's constantly always changing. So you can always add or subtract. And if you're saying, okay, maybe I set the bar way too high and maybe I need to knock it down here and start consistently achieving these lower tier activities to create the habit of developing a stronger version of yourself, that's perfectly fine too. And it's even more powerful that you have found that out and that you've discovered that, because that is a stepping stone into ultimately creating the highest version of yourself. But guys, I'm running out of time here on my camera. That was a quick first video, forming a life declaration, creating a stronger version of ourselves. That's Fred's strength. Hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you want. I left my contact information in the description along with what I talked about in this video. If you guys would like to reach out, have any questions, feel free. Guys, keep making those spiritual, mental, and physical gains, and I'll see you in the next one.